Greetings, it is I, Countess Naravan Dracovin, Lord and Emperor of the Dracovin Empire, and welcome. It is time to continue my discussion on the forgotten collectible card games of old. Collectible card games of old that have, in some ways, failed, stopped, ended. Some of them may still have support from the publishers, others still fans out there, but many of these CCGs have fallen by the wayside, disappeared, no longer exist. So for today, I have another one that could be truly called a failure, Flight of Fantasy. So Flight of Fantasy was put out in 1994, in the wake of the production of Magic: The Gathering. But the fact is, this set of collectible cards was completely produced, but never saw a mass market release. They had prepped as if they were going to mass market it, to put it out into the world. There were promos out in it, which I'll talk about in a minute. Things that should tell you this was being prepared. You can still find complete sets of the cards out there, but it was never sold in the mass market. So it truly did fail. So it failed before it even got started. Now, it was both designed, and the art produced for it was done by Edward Beard Jr., a man who did a bunch of art for various Magic cards. He wanted to produce a set of cards for himself, so he did these. And as I said, not only did he design every last one of them, he did the art for every one of them. This means the art on these cards is incredibly beautiful. He's a very talented art. So while the game itself, well, I'll explain why it doesn't have a very good following because of its mechanics. The art makes it a very desirable collector's thing, and maybe something you might want to look into. Now, the base set, which there only was the one of design, consists of about 90 cards. These are divided into 3 categories: fantasy, horror, and sci-fi, basically splitting up the types of cards there were. There was autograph cards, puzzle cards, and change cards randomly thrown in with this to kind of expand upon the entire set of cards that existed. The gameplay itself was incredibly simplistic. You would effectively put a card out, and your opponent would have a card out, and you would each then roll a die, add that to the base number of the cards, compare the two, and that would be what you're going to use to determine a battle. Dice rolls and card numbers. This game desperately needed things like card enhancements, which there were a few in the base set, but there were surprisingly small amounts of card enhancers that would change these numbers, make a difference between these dice rolls. It came down to a little bit of what's the best base number, what's a little bit of luck, and it meant that the comparisons didn't always work out. Now, there was a promo of a card enhancer that did exist in some of the magazines at the time to promote the release of this card game. Of course, as I said, that release never truly happened, unfortunately. Things broke down on a side that we don't know about. Was it Edward's Beard Jr.? Was it the publishing company? Something broke down along the way which no one really talks about, and that's what caused it to truly fail. So, it is a very simplistic game, but again, as I said earlier, the art is beautiful. So there might be reasons for you to pick up this card set just to see the amazing art that Edward Beard Jr. did. So the game was meant for 2 players, and the production that was done was by Destiny Productions while they were working on it. And sets were produced. Not sold, produced. So it's amazing that it got far enough that complete sets of these cards can exist, but not far enough that we, the public, would have actually gotten large amounts of them. Where the actual breakdown and failure happened in this CCG, it's incredibly hard to say. But that's it for today. I just wanted to introduce you to another CCG from 1994. In the wake of Magic: The Gathering, so many were produced. We've now seen a few that were bad. Some that were, some felt people felt it was bad, others felt it was good. This one for sure, simple, beautiful but simple. And would it have had a popularity equivalent to Magic? Probably not. Would it maybe have gained a following? Perhaps, with the art. Did it though? We'll never know. It was never finished. never truly put out to you and me. It is, as I said, something that you can still find out there if you wish to collect it. Complete sets, not for a lot. I looked into it. But I hope you're having a great day. If there's any kind of CCG that you bought just because of the artwork that you saw on it, tell me in the comments below, because we all sometimes do things like that. We're not looking to the gameplay. We're looking to, oh, that looks really cool. I've done that before too. So why don't you tell me if you've got any stories like that in the comments. And until the next time, I bid you farewell.